Hello, beautiful people. Yeah, a bit of a strange live today because I just wanted to sort of do a quick thing about finding your space and finding your ground and finding your people. Because I'm seeing a lot of sort of division and fear and stuff floating around on social media and stuff at the moment. And I hope if you've watched any of my things, you know that I really like the idea that everybody is amazing and has their own gifts to give the world and blah, 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 blah. So it just got me thinking about what could be sort of a positive spin on where things are. And I think when there's sort of fear and worry and division and stuff floating around, that's when people can sometimes lose themselves, which is not a good place to be, because then there's more fear because you're coming from a place of not feeling steady or grounded or anything like that. So I thought what I'd do today, because I've never done this before, but this is some of the things that I do in my own sort of spiritual practice and stuff, is I do a thing called guided pictures in the stone. But what I decided to do today, it's a really good process for sort of unpacking, getting out of your own way. So like Einstein says, like if you think have thought yourself into a problem, then trying to think your way out of it is not always the best way to go, because that's how you got into the issue. So the lovely thing about guided pictures in the stone, which is a shamanically inspired practice, is that it uses these pictures, as the name suggests. So you sort of get out of your own way to find your solutions out of a problem. So it's one of the sessions I do in my shamanic practice, if anybody wants to come along for one. And you do actually use a stone. So I thought I'd do sort of like a universal pictures in the stone thing for sort of honouring where other people are, and thereby honouring your own space and where you're at the time. And so it's all about asking questions and then using the pictures to try and help you unpack. So obviously you're not using your brain and thinking in the same way that you normally do. So it taps into your imagination and your intuition and your creativity. So it's a really lovely process to do. And sort of, I was talking about honouring other people's journeys and using the pictures in the stone. And I got some very interesting pictures that basically sort of summed up that the idea of being the universal language is love and acceptance of other people where they are. And that love doesn't mean you need to agree with someone. Love just means you need to accept that someone else is potentially on a different path to you and honour that. That's what I feel anyway. And then our own uniqueness, which obviously is something I rabbit on about quite a lot. I really like the fact that the likelihood of every single one of you being on this planet is 1 billion to 1, but it's more than that. It's absolutely massive if you think about the two people who had you meeting, the likelihood of them meeting, and then blah, blah, blah. Let's not go into it too much, but it's a pretty big unlikelihood that you're here. So making the most of who you are and the gifts that you have to give the world. The very big thing I got from doing the pictures thing is that we're all unique, like snowflakes. I saw some snowflakes in my stone. And that we all have that need to sort of stand with our community, but accept that if our community is different to someone else's, that they have a right to stand in theirs. And a lot of the work I do is sort of around boundaries and accepting who you are and keeping yourself safe, because when you do that, you're more likely to honour that somebody else might be on a different path to yours, but you can still appreciate them as a human being. You might not agree with them, but you can still see where they're coming from. So it was really nice to have done that process before coming on today, because I just felt very connected to my lovely stone. The other lovely thing about it is it's reminding us that there's amazing, creative, beautiful things out there. I mean, look at that. It's just a beautiful stone that I picked up off a beach. And you can imagine everybody looking at that would be able to see different pictures and therefore be able to get out of their own way to find solutions to their own issues, which is what I love about the process of guided pictures in the stone. And I thought I'd back that up by pulling an oracle card from one of my nature decks that I really love. And it was really interesting because I got Spirit Keeper of the West. And the card meaning is all transformation and letting go of the old, which is really interesting because yesterday was the big blood moon and full moon, which is a really good time of letting go of stuff and bringing in the new. And it's all about initiation and illumination and gathering your inner resources. And if it doesn't feel right, don't go ahead, trust yourself. And then, interestingly, chaos brings about positive change. And I do feel there is quite a lot of chaos floating around at the moment. But what I liked about that was the standing your own ground, sort of finding your own place, which is why I named this Standing Your Own Ground, and staying there, and then accepting that maybe somebody else has found a different piece of ground to stand on and it's okay for them at the moment to be there. So I just wanted to sort of share that. Remember that you're all amazing, unique, fantastic human beings. I hope you understand where I'm coming from when I talk about that. That doesn't mean that I love everybody and appreciate everybody. There are people out there that I probably wouldn't want to have a relationship with, but I love and appreciate the journey that they're on. And that doesn't mean I have to like them. There's a very big difference between loving someone and liking them. And there's a very, I can look at people and go, they've taught me very important stories, very important lessons. Maybe not somebody I want to be like best buddies with, but I can look at situations that I've been in the past where things, particularly not nice things, have happened. And I can look back and go, yeah, I learned from that. So that person sort of gave me a gift. So it's trying to find those things. But yeah, just remember that there is a community out there of like-minded people for everyone, especially at the moment. There are groups of people out there who are trying to live with less fear and live with more love. And there's stuff out there that you can tap into that will help you feel more empowered. So if you're feeling a bit lost at the moment, feel free to get in touch with me. Obviously, I use essential oils and shamanic techniques and various other things to make people feel more whole and more sort of ensouled in their body and being able to share their gifts with the world. That's my big thing. So if you want to get in touch with me about any of that stuff, feel free. But just the biggest thing to come out of this is you are amazing. The likelihood that you are on this planet is absolutely minuscule. So make the most of it. And if you're feeling ungrounded, find a way to make yourself feel more like you're there, you're in your body, you can use all your senses and stuff like that. And make sure that what you're giving out is appreciation and love for people in a way that makes you feel better as a person. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to agree or like or whatever, but it's a good place to start. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.